So alongside the Cymru Refugee 11-a-side Football League, we set up a futsal league. This was purely to make sure we keep the players motivated to stay in the game, keep them interested in it when the season finished. So at the end of the season, we created a short 10-week futsal league for them to play within the teams that they played in the actual 11-a-side. So there was a 6-team league, it was a 10-week season. Cardiff City Football Club hosted in their facility in their House of Sport. FAW Trust was funding it, and we had in-house referees. I'll explain this a bit more in detail as we go along to our next initiative. And it was an off-season motivation, making sure players stayed interested and focused, so when the 11-a-side game came along, they were still interested to play the game, and they still had that competition edge to play. So the league project outcomes. In total, we had 7 new teams at the end, with 90 plus new players who were registered within the FAW data. We had 23 new level 1 coaches. We had 11 new first aid qualified candidates, 7 qualified level 2 coaches, which is the FAWC certificate, 6 qualified FAW referees, 2 of them which were active, and these two referees actually refereed in the Multicultural Football League once they qualified. This helped us also minimise cost, and this was part of the voluntary hours to do the refereeing in the games, so they can build that experience, build that confidence, and then go into refereeing in a mainstream level. We also had 2 futsal qualified referees, and 2 of the referees are active, and they are also refereed in the Refugee Futsal League. One of them has done so well, he had a call up to go and referee in the Wales national games. And now he gets regular calls. So that's a great motivation for other players and other candidates from the refugee community and citizens to uptake these courses and enhance themselves in whichever field they wish to in the football game. We have also created a league website for the Cymru Refugee Football League. This was purely to motivate the players to have a look when they get home of the result, who scored goal differences, and they can keep up to date week to week and have that competitive edge when they play their following fixture. You can have a look at this web link in the lecture resources section. You can also see a YouTube clip below and see the initiative in action and how Sport Wales has helped develop this alongside the FAW Trust to reach this initiative. Okay, so the end goal. So why do we have these programs or projects? Purely to get them into the mainstream football level. As you will see in the green box, we have South Wales Multicultural League, an initiative I spoke briefly at the start of our presentation, and the Cymru Refugee Football League, which I've just explained a bit more in thorough. From the Cymru Refugee Football League, we've had 4 teams excel into a more mainstream structure. In the red box, you'll see Kurdish FC, the Eritrean football community, and the Zimbabwe Warriors, who have gone into the Cardiff Community Cohesion Cup. And you have Newport Warriors in the box, the orange box next to it, who have gone into the Newport and District League, which is part of the Gwent County FA. Those 4 teams have decided to go into a mainstream structure because they were more confident, they felt more comfortable playing in the affiliated environment and wanted to push it to the next level. And that is our main aim, to making sure we get all the players who don't play football in the community and exit route for them to get into a mainstream structure. So a short task again for you. What steps can be taken by the FAW Trust to encourage a stronger representation of coaches from a BME background? Consider the following: groups to be targeted, marketing techniques, method of delivery, who, where and when, and target settings, how many.